Hey Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are looking at the Batcycle from The Flash from McFarlane Toys. We are looking at Batman stuff all week long. Yesterday I reviewed a couple of Batman figures. Tomorrow will be the Batmobile. Thursday will be the Batwing, the much anticipated Batmobile and Batwing. We can see on the back we've got art from the same artist that provided the work for the Batman figures. Now, this is the Batfleck Batcycle as seen in the trailer. Obviously, we haven't seen the movie yet. We don't know what all goes on with this or any of the Batmans or anything. But this is a pretty awesome looking vehicle, and I like collecting Bat vehicles when I think they look awesome. So, let's open this thing up and take a look. You know, McFarlane's packaging is not the most exciting in the world. It's much more utilitarian than anything else. But that's fine because, you know, for me anyway, McFarlane doesn't really have anything to, packaging-wise, they don't need to dazzle me. One, I'm opening everything up anyway. But two, when it's stuff like this, it's, for me, a must-have. I am, in general, not a huge fan of McFarlane's figures. Not that they're bad, it's just a matter of personal taste. They're just, you know, they're executed in a way that I do not prefer. As you've heard me say, if you've watched any of my reviews of McFarlane's figures, which I've done some, because there are some characters that he has access to that to me are just must-haves, and that's the end of it. Oh man, we got another one. Holy cow. The plastic holding the strips in place is sturdier than the plastic used in half of the toys I buy nowadays. Alright, I've got a trading card in there. I'm not going to bother even opening that up. I don't care about. That's one of the things that kind of baffles me a little bit about McFarlane stuff. I don't understand the effort put into the trading cards. Like, I don't, and I've gotten in the comments before, there's some of you who dig them and who collect them, and that's awesome, that's great. I'm not saying that is an incorrect way to collect or do things. It's just, I personally could not care less about a trading card of a toy. Now, unlike some of the other vehicles that McFarlane has put out, this one is the size that it is, and that's the end of it. There's no expansion or anything. Man, I really love the way this guy does vehicles, and I so badly wish they were in a scale that went with anything else that was on the market. McFarlane, you know, has a long history of being a fan of vehicles and toy vehicles and executing things in a really interesting manner, going all the way back to the very first line of Spawn, where he did the Spawn Mobile and like weird things like that had, there was a Violator monster truck. Like, McFarlane loves vehicles and has always made really good, cool vehicle toys. And this Batcycle is no exception. This is kind of it feels like a take on the Christopher Nolan Batcycle. Oh man, what was that thing called? It wasn't the Batwheel. The Batpod, right? Wasn't it the Batpod? So tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think it was the Batpod, which was so unique and exciting at the time, and really still is an awesome addition to Batman's arsenal. So this is definitely a variation on that, but a little more tank-like. Honestly, very fitting for Affleck's Batman. This is the kind of Batcycle you'd picture an older, gruffer, meaner Batman having. Well, I mean, maybe at this point Affleck is not as mean, because I feel like he had a little... Well, we're not going to get into the history of the DC Multiverse movies. I am a little confused. It seems like it would make more sense for the two wheels to be in the back. But whatever. It still looks awesome. So, these wheels are rubber. All the wheels are rubber, which is fantastic and an absolute must for me for a toy vehicle. I love, and they roll beautifully. Like, this is This is an excellently executed toy vehicle. You know who would look awesome on this if it was the right scale? Firefly from G.I. Joe. Even the classified Firefly would be great on this. So you've got the wheels that are actually free spinning on these supports here. The back wheel doesn't spin quite as well. It's not as heavy as the front wheels, so it's not going to spin quite as well. But like when it's on the ground, it moves very freely. It's great. You've got guns in the front here. The only thing that I don't like, and this has been a complaint on vehicles I've talked about in the past, I really hate the exposed screw holes. That it's just cheap. It doesn't look great. Make some little caps to put in there. I don't know. There are toys that don't have those that I prefer that look. Look at the turbine. If you can see it, look at the turbine in here. That seems a little odd that it's just blasting right into the wheel, but we don't know how this is fueled or powered. So there's no telling. Maybe it's wind powered. Who knows? Batman's a clever guy. And again, Affleck's Batman is a little more socially responsible than he was when we first met him. Look at this instance. I actually kind of like. Well, okay, I would prefer it without the grime, because you've got just sort of dry brushed on here. You've got some street dirt that looks like if you go out and look at sort of the bottom area of your car right now, it looks just like this. I mean, unless you're washing your car like twice a week or something. But it looks, the deco looks great. Honestly, though, I'd prefer it not be on there. But this is cool, man. This is just a cool Bat vehicle. The only, it doesn't have any bat motifs on it, is kind of a problem. There's no bat-shaped anything to indicate that this is Batman's vehicle. So I don't like that about it. But, I mean, it just looks awesome. And again, I wish it was in a scale that was compatible with other lines. Well, you know what? Before we get to seeing how well McFarlane, yeah, there's no way. There's no way our little 00 Snake Eyes is piloting this thing. I bet there's some customizers out there who are dying to try and make this happen. Yeah, I guess you can get him just straight up laying down on it. He looks like the Ewok from Return of the Jedi. So I mean, you can, if you're willing to have that be the look of your Snake Eyes. Think about that though. How awesome would this have been in 1/12 scale rather than 1/10? So anyway, that's how that looks. Now let's try. I have not yet bought a Batfleck figure because in the trailer his. Oh, okay. So look at this. The figure is designed. Oh, I got to switch hands on this guy. Even though this isn't the figure that's designed to go with this cycle, he is designed where his head goes up far enough to where he can look like he's riding the motorcycle. Oh man, this is going to look really cool. It might take a little effort. His hands are a little stiff. But man, look at that. That is pretty killer. I'm going to hold him in place. But oh, I like it. With the bat, you could even affix, depending on how you want to display this on the shelf, you could do kind of a Mezco type thing and affix, well, if you've got Mezco figures, you might have one of these armatures, but put some wires underneath here to keep the cape kind of flowing out behind him. But I gotta say, well, let me move the cape so you can actually see. I don't know if that's exactly how he sits, but it's got to be pretty close. Fits very well, looks good. But I was saying I haven't bought a Batfleck because in the trailer it looks like his costume's blue and gray, and the figure I saw in the store was like maybe sort of grayish black, but it didn't look right. So I want to wait and see if they do a blue and gray Ben Affleck Batman. But I gotta say, this thing is really cool. I dig it. McFarlane executes these vehicles so well, in my opinion. So there you go. That is the Batcycle for The Flash, coming soon. I dig it. If you're a fan of toy vehicles, I think this is a good one. It's just a shame it's so darn big. Oh, and the seat is, look at the texture of the seat there. I meant to point that out earlier. Just lots of cool details. It's great. It's a cool, well done vehicle. If you are a Bat collector or a Bat vehicle collector, I think you need it. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and tell your friends about me.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.